Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today is Sunday, February the 15th. I was just informed by one of my YouTube viewers that Vanity passed away. And we know her as Vanity. Her real name was Denise Katrina Matthews. She was 57 years old when she passed away today from complications from kidney disease. And, I just thought I'd take a moment to pay my respects because, like I mentioned in the Earth, Wind, and Fire Maurice White video, how, you're living in a certain era and you just enjoy it so much and you hate to see it go. And there's some people that are strong representatives of that particular decade or era. And Vanity was definitely in that era. In 1982, she was with a group called Vanity 6 that was put together by Prince. They had a big hit called Nasty Girls. And I think after like a year they disbanded. And she had a couple of solo albums. And, I think back on, that era of the 80s because, as you guys know, that was my favorite era. And it just seems like it was yesterday that it was like 1985, 1985, and these artists were in their 20s, doing their thing. And then, you look up, time flies, and they're saying goodbye to us. And it's just a very sad, somber day that, we mourned another loss of another musical comrade. And, my thoughts of the 80s is this. When me and my wife was experiencing the 80s, I kid you not, I think it's like 1985, we went to about 25 weddings. It was like the decade for love for my generation. And I just mentioned, the other day, kind of kidding, but in a sense, kind of serious that, you're getting older when you start to attend more funerals than weddings. Because again, back in the 80s, it's like every other day we were going to a wedding, and now, unfortunately, time has progressed. We're at that stage where we start to embrace ourselves or, prepare ourselves for the passing of another person from that era. And it just makes you sad because when I think of Vanity, I think of that era. I think of the 80s, I think of Prince, I think of new wave music, I think the explosion of keyboards, synthesizers. Definitely my favorite era. And, she's going to be missed. Here's a little bit, stats on her. She was in a couple of movies. The Last Dragon, which I've actually never seen. Also, 52 Pickup and Action Jackson. Now, actually, I did see that movie. And I'm going to kind of mention this movie briefly because when I first seen it, I seen it at the show back in the 80s. And I was in my 20s. And actually, on eBay, I bought the DVD about maybe 2 months ago because I remember going to the show and enjoying the movie. But it's interesting as you get older, your perspective on things changed drastically because when I viewed it about a month ago, I didn't have the same reaction I had in the 80s because I'm a different person. And what I realized or recognized at this stage in my life in viewing it, that of course it was a formulated action cop show or cop movie, which I didn't have a problem with. But the problem that I did have with it is it brought back the memories that I thought about, and it kind of reconfirmed them that Vanity was kind of one of the people, unfortunately, that was kind of prostituted by the music industry. First it was with Prince when he wanted to name the group Vagina, which is really very disrespectful to women. And then in the movie Action Jackson, she was basically kind of being prostituted in a sense, And there was a scene, which I won't go into detail as far as the graphics, but it was a scene in the movie with her, and I think his name is Craig T. Nelson. He was kind of the villain in the movie. And it was a scene where I say to myself now, that scene had no place in the movie because it was just kind of out of place. But it was done for, I guess, I won't say shock value. It was done to kind of exploit the beautiful. Because unfortunately, I think with Vanity's case, her beauty kind of overshadowed her talent. Because I think she was a really pretty good singer. And I think if she's one of them women that just did solo session work and you never seen her, she would have been even more successful in the business. But they decided to kind of play up the physical aspect as opposed to the talent. And she quickly became very, disenfranchised with the whole music industry thing. And then she got into evangelism, which was a good thing. Because, we do live in a society, especially in this country, that Beautiful people get exploited. It's about what they look like and not about what they bring to the table. So after viewing it, 30, 20 years later, 25 years later, my perspective changed as far as that movie, you know. And, it's a sad day because, we just coming to terms with the loss of Maurice White, and then we get hit with another artist from that era, So just wanted to just acknowledge her passing, pay my respects, and until next time, take care and thanks for watching. Rest in peace, Denise Katrina Matthews.